Hi, I'm Jeff Murrah, and I want to welcome you to Healthy Marriage Tips, where today we're going to be talking about trauma bonds in your thinking. Now, I decided to go ahead and do this one because the question comes up, at least in the back of people's minds. Do trauma bonds affect the way I think? Or, I've often heard the statement, after the trauma happened, I can't seem to think. I feel like I'm going crazy, or statements along those lines. Well, the bottom line is that your ability to process information and work through it is impacted by trauma bonds. It changes your ability to do those things. You may think of yourself being the same physically, but you're not. Your body has changed. Your mind has changed. A couple of reasons for this. One is that the coping chemicals in your brain, the neurotransmitters, have been depleted. When there's a trauma, there is a sudden drop in those chemicals. They can be replenished over time, but in the short run, they're not there. So you've got that going on, and you also have a process that they call mirroring. You've been when there's a trauma, when a bond forms connecting you and them, when they're raging or they're upset, there's a lot of fearful responses in you, and your body and your mind just start reacting without even thinking. Now, some of the areas impacted by the changes in your ability to think are problem solving, the ability to view the situation objectively. That's going to be impaired. You're not going to be able to see the big picture because, when you're in fear, you tend to start catastrophizing and seeing the worst in things rather than seeing the best in things. It's going to be difficult to connect the dots and to see the connections between things. It's not that you're stupid. It's not that you're dumb. Your mind is not working like it did. And this is part of what happens with the trauma bonds. A lot of times you start thinking something is wrong with you, and it never occurs that the difficulty is that the bonds that you're struggling with have interfered with your body's functioning and your mind's functioning. And that's what I want to bring to your attention. It does have that impact, and it doesn't have to be a permanent state. It can you can turn it into a temporary condition, but you have to be aware of it and not freak out when it happens. And this is another reason why it's so important to have a support network, because as you're not able to do the problem solving, you're going to have to rely on others to help you with that during those times until you regain it. Because as you're around helpful people, you start to internalize the things that they are sharing with you, and that helps you replenish your thinking, replenish the coping chemicals, and put you back on the right track. Hope you found this helpful. If you have questions or concerns, feel free to leave them below. I'll be glad to get to them. Until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you best regards. Goodbye.